It's difficult to play in New Orleans, okay? It's difficult playing against Sean Payton's offense. It's shifts, it's motions, it's multiple personnel groups, it's gadget formations, it's multiples of multiples. So they're going to have to simplify. They're going to have to simplify anyways based off last week's performance, but then to go in and have to deal with this much stuff, they're going to have to take a step back to try to slow them down. And even with that, it's really, really difficult to slow this offense down.
Coach, when you talk about step back,
yep.
Are you talking about the amount of information that you're presenting to the players in preparation? Are you talking about the amount of things that you would do? Say if we had 5 staple defenses going into this game or 5 staple coverages, are we limiting those coverage based on we don't know what we have in New England yet?
Well, it's a little bit we don't know what we have in New England, and then it's also dealing with New Orleans offense. So if you try to match that, if you try to match and take away certain guys and do specific game plan things, Sean's going to give you formations that you haven't seen. He's going to motion in and out of bunch and stacked receivers. It's going to be 5 wide receivers, and then it's going to be 3 tight. It's just never ending. So you can overwhelm the guys going into a game like that, where everybody's chasing the last play, and you don't want to do that. You want to settle them down, have something easy. Now, that being said, if Drew Brees knows what you're in trouble as well. So you better disguise whatever you're in, and you've got to simplify it too. It's hard. It's really hard.
I'm probably viewed maybe unfairly as like the resident Patriots skeptic because I didn't pick them to go to the Super Bowl.
I don't think there's anything unfair
about
that.
Because I had the audacity to say the Steelers might be better. And I had the audacity after week 1 to say, well, I mean, they were not good in many facets of the game. Maybe it means something. I think the Patriots will win this game. I would be shocked if New Orleans wins this game. If the Patriots win and the defense struggles, man, that's the Saints in New Orleans. That's what you're talking about. Like you can,
yes.
If they win this game 35-31,
that's a legitimate
That's
excuse.
not going to concern. My level of concern about the defense will not be raised. New Orleans at home. New Orleans, by the way, this is their only home game until week 6. Like they recognize the importance of this game, how much better they are in New Orleans on offense. If the Patriots win this game, but Tom Brady isn't sharp against that defense, a defense that has been bottom 2 in the league 4 of the last 5 years and sure looked like they were going to continue that trend in week 1 against the Vikings, that's when I think more people start being concerned about Tom Brady. There would be no reason for the Patriots offense to struggle in New Orleans in week 2.
Well, I don't think that's totally fair. The defense in New Orleans, they put a lot of money into the defense. They've done a lot of things to try to improve the defense. So we don't know if this year's defense is going to be the same as the last 2 years' defense.
We did see Sam Bradford have the single greatest game since he was at Oklahoma.
Look, and there's a lot of things that happen in game 1 that you'd love to say, oh, my God, this is exactly how the rest of the 15 games are going to go. But it's not always realistic. We're going to learn more over the next few weeks. And I think it's the same thing defensively with New Orleans. How much have they really made progress versus how much are they the same system we've seen or the same product we've seen?
What makes the Patriots, I think, so intimidating, or what has done that in the last couple of years, is how good number 12 is. He usually doesn't make mistakes. He's flawless when he goes out there. He knows how to win games, even when they're losing. If he plays poorly in this game, does it change the mindset of other teams coming in that, hey, now 2 teams have gotten to him? Maybe this isn't such a tough roadblock after all.
Well, I would caution anybody that walks in to play Tom Brady of underestimating him.
Yes.
Because he will light you up. He'll hang 40 on you, and you'll think, oh, my God, this guy is 40, and then he'll hang 40 on you. Because that's who he is.
And then he'll run a 4.2 40.
Yeah, well,
5.2, 6.2.
Yeah, the 40
is not his strength.
Yeah, that's not going
to be. He's going to do all those other great things. Why not?
Right. One thing, though, it's one thing to go against a Kansas City defense. And you have to, as a fan, you have to realize Kansas City has great personnel, all right? They have a great secondary, not a good one. They got a great secondary. They have very good linebackers. They have a great defensive line. They got a great defensive coordinator who has had some success going against New England. So in New Orleans, they don't have that. They're secondary. New England will exploit their secondary. New England has better wide receivers than Minnesota does. All right? New England's ability, can they run the ball like Minnesota did with Dalvin Cook? Because that will allow Tom, because they got to take some of the pressure off of Tom. And that's what you're able to do with a running game. But I've seen this. If you slight Tom Brady, if you try to play 40 snaps of man-to-man, he will definitely throw for 350 yards, and they will score 40 points on the Saints. I expect this game to be a blowout. Watch Tom Brady correct, especially when he had time in the pocket. He will correct that, and he will be a lot more accurate with the football than he was in week number 1.
We're all, I would imagine, going to pick the Patriots to win this game. That obviously doesn't mean they will win this game. We talked yesterday about teams that go 0-2. 88% of them miss the playoffs. There's a more interesting, if you kind of do a dive on that when it comes to the Patriots, because their goal is not to make the playoffs. Like, making the playoffs is a given for New England with Tom Brady. They missed the playoffs after they won their first Super Bowl, and they missed the playoffs the year. You're mad at me for saying it's a given with Tom Brady? They make it every year.
But slow down. This is what Coach's face said. Coach's face said. Well, first of all, they don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yes, they do.
They don't.
They're not going to tell anybody.
You do. No, they don't. They do not think that way. They don't think that.
They think they're going to miss the playoffs?
They're not thinking about it. What they're trying to do is play.
Well, let's ask.
Well, they're not,
okay, what do I know?
No,
okay?
I'm just saying.
They're not sitting around a staff meeting going, look, if we go 0-2,
no,
88% of the times we're not going to make all they care, and I must not.
So have respect to the system. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, I'm not doing a good job articulating how dedicated and committed they are to the game-by-game, moment-by-moment, meeting-by-minute meeting philosophy.
I believe
that's real. I
believe that, but that's because that is the way the Patriots assess things. Doesn't mean football fans across America can't look at historical trends and say, what does this mean for the future? So the point that I'm
But address it to the fans. Don't address it to the Patriots, because the Patriots don't think that way.
With respect, I don't think the Patriots are watching.
Man.
So I'm talking to you, America.
No, Mr. Kraft.
Mr.
Kraft is a friend of mine. He's watching.
It's on right now in every office.
Let me make the point that I was trying to make.
All meetings on hold for this show.
It is, even if the Patriots were to lose to the Saints, I am not worried about them falling into that 88%. I still think they will make the playoffs. But the Patriots' goal, even if I'm the only one that thinks it, is to win the Super Bowl. 3 teams
That's
ever.
every team's goal.
Hold up. Wait, whoa. So I just want to make sure I understand. They're not thinking about the playoffs, but they are thinking about goals. Okay, got it. But let me just get this number out there.
It's universal. You go into the season with the goal of winning the Super Bowl. It's not like, hey guys, we get to the playoffs, we'll high five.
To win the Super Bowl.
Do we want to win a sports Emmy? Do you want to win a sports Emmy?
I mean, I just want to get the Hall of Fame first. Can I give my stat, damn it? The point that I'm trying to make is this, teams that start 0-2, 3 of them have won the Super Bowl. The 93 Cowboys, why'd they start 0-2, CC? What was different in 93?
Emmitt Smith.
The best player maybe in the league, certainly their best player, held out. The 0-1 Pats started 0-2. What was different after the first 2 games?
Quarterback change.
Tom Brady became the quarterback in game 2. And the 07 Giants, which is still to this day considered one of the most amazing Super Bowl teams ever because they beat the undefeated Patriots. The point is, there is not a precedent for teams starting 0-2 without an amazing influx of talent. Tom Brady, Emmitt Smith, or a one-off, once-in-a-lifetime team like the Giants winning the Super Bowl. That's why this game is critical for them. We all think they're going to win it, and evidently the Patriots won't care. It'll just be the next week, and we're not worried about anything long-term. But I think the audience should know that is the historical precedent of where we're at.
I think you should take the day off and give yourself a raise after getting that one in.
Thank you very much.
# Spicy Friday.
Spicy Friday.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from some of our other great shows on FS1.